is behind me. This is called Mount Michener, and I've camped literally about 100 feet from where this photo was taken. I didn't take this photo, but this mountain here, this lake, I got to go out on that yesterday. It's solid ice, but it's crystal blue. And just like a mirror, you can see the wind has taken the snow, and it literally is in lines down the lake this way, and you can just see them, lines and lines and lines of snow, and then of course the crystal clear blue, but the water level has fallen. And so when the water level fell, a lot of what we see here at the shore is ice, but it's at an incline. So it's like it's in a bowl of ice because it goes out so shallow, right? This Abraham Lake goes out really, really shallow. It takes a long time for it to get deep because it used to be a quarry a long time ago. And I think that when the trees were harvested, that this Abraham Lake, because it's 80 kilometers long, we don't build quarries 80 kilometers long. But this lake is 80 kilometers long, and it's in between mountains the whole way. And I think that was a quarry, ancient quarry as well. So here we are, walking out on the lake, and it's like an incline, and so you're sliding. Basically, I was standing there. Could have been a sail. My body could have been a sail, and I was just being pushed across the ice by the wind. It was so cool. So, hey, let's check out some markets. Thanks a lot for everybody for tuning in. I'm excited for this week because, well, I think that this is kind of the final week of shaking out and shaking down the markets a little bit, getting rid of some of the loose ends. And we've got a lot of people that really shouldn't be in the market, and they need to sell. They need to get out of the way. Because it's their emotional trading that keeps things whiplashing all over the place. So let's go ahead and pull up some charts here. And I'm also going to bring up some top news from Virtual Bacon because, well, he's just really good at summarizing what's going on every single day. And his last post was actually only an hour ago. And my screen is a little bit off. I see. Let's go ahead and just turn that. Oh, you know what? I'm just gonna go ahead and adjust that real quick. There's something that people don't know, and I have to teach it. And it's something new to me. But that is, we are not meant to sit like how we've been taught. And I've been practicing this new type of sitting technique, and it's been very, very good for my health. And so now I've adjusted my desk area. In the past, I've been using my desk as using the stand-up desk, and that's been good. It's really good for the core so that you don't have a weaker core sitting at a desk. But then I find out that there's actually a way that we can sit, that our bodies actually fold in such a way that allow us to sit for long periods of time, but still maintain a good core posture. And I'm not going to show you on the camera right now, but basically you sit on your knees. So you're kneeling, but then you sit on your heels, and not even on your heels. You actually, the hips actually kind of fall between the heels. And that's how we're actually engineered to sit. We're not engineered to sit with our knees out in front of us and our feet dangling below our knees. We're actually meant to sit this way. So I'm trying it out at the desk here to see what kind of changes I notice in productivity or even just energy levels. Standing in front of the desk is good for the core, but it's actually quite a bit of work. And so I'm curious to see. All right, let's go ahead, bring up. How come it's not showing up? I had this all set up yesterday so that when I click that, it goes over there. Let's just see what's going on. Oh, it's on the wrong capture. There we go. Application. Brave. There we go. That's the one I was looking for. All right. So here we go. Got market updates. Bitcoin did fall below $100,000 with 850 million liquidated. So almost $1 billion got liquidated in 24 hours, impacting long positions and AI tokens hardest. And we noticed this. We'll see it in the charts, but yeah, we did notice just a lot of liquidity left the market, and so it dropped the price. Michael Saylor hints at new MicroStrategy Bitcoin purchase as Bitcoin consolidates near $104,000. The firm holds 461 Bitcoin worth $48 billion. So Michael Saylor, he's Michael Saylor, rather. He is MicroStrategy's. I think he's the CEO, and they're working very hard at collecting Bitcoin as much as possible, holding it in reserves. And so they just keep on adding more all the time. Bitcoin wallets holding $100 or more, near $30 million, which is up 25% year over year. So that's basically what we're seeing is, there's probably a lot more people who have gained wallets, but there's that many people who not only started a new wallet, but then also added $100. That went up 25%. As retail investors grow, as during long institutional adoption and ETF-driven optimism. So there's a lot of optimism in the markets because of those ETFs. Bitcoin's derivatives price on Binance is $62 below spot levels. So derivatives are another financial instrument, and you can bet with them and against them if you wish. And right now, there's a $62 price difference between Bitcoin and the Bitcoin derivatives price. And so that actually hits a bearish record, meaning that also creates some, well, like what it says here, these macroeconomic concerns drive cautious trading. So people are being cautious with this. As much as the money is loading up, people are still being cautious, and we're going to see this kind of fluctuation, I think, this week, and it'll probably come to a close this week. This last little whiplash that we've seen in the last 12 hours or so is indicative of that. We were seeing that consolidation narrowing down. I was talking about this over the week on Saturday, how we were noticing the consolidation narrowing down to a point, but that if they break out, it probably will be the last breakout before we see the next run. Next, we've got Jupiter's JUP token surged 40% after founder Meow, yes, these are real things, announced a $3 billion token burn and pledged 50% off fees for token buybacks. So what is a burn? Well, we can talk about that maybe another time, but basically what happens is some of these cryptocurrencies, in order to, because they have a limit of how much currency they can issue. Not like printing fiat, you can just keep on printing to oblivion. With crypto, there's a max number that you can print. That's it. But sometimes crypto companies, in order to help hurry up the process, to help hurry the raising of the valuation of their currency, they'll actually burn some of it. They'll actually delete it from the chain to make it impossible to get. And that gives the perception of a decreasing supply, which increases demand. So it's interesting that it exists, that's possible. Some highlights for the week. Eric Trump allegedly confirms zero capital gains tax for US-based crypto projects like XRP, while non-US projects face a 30% tax. Ooh, we're seeing a lot of this happen, especially with like the in trade wars in particular. We see these taxes on things that didn't come from us. And so it's interesting to me that they are really focusing on making the US based crypto projects like XRP tax free, and then penalizing projects from outside the US. This is it's a very short-term strategy. It's not recommended. It's never recommended that nations do this for long periods of time. Brian Armstrong, because in the long run, it hurts more people. If they're going to put a 30% tax on crypto projects that are not in the U.S., people who are not in the U.S. get penalized for being a part of those crypto projects. So it's not a good thing to do. You're making more enemies than ever. Brian Armstrong says Coinbase must rethink its token listing process due to rapid creation of 1 million tokens weekly, aiming for efficiency. So with more and more projects coming on board, Coinbase has got to rethink how they get their tokens listed because there's just so many. CZ calls for governments to track, I don't know who CZ is, public spending on blockchain, promoting transparency amid $102 trillion global debt. Oh my God. So somebody, I don't know who CZ is, but they're calling for governments to track all public spending on blockchain. That's not good. Isn't it interesting that that call exists? I wonder who's making that call. I wonder who CZ is. Virtuals expand to Solana, adding a Solana reserve, liquidity pool, and grants, aiming to grow cross-chain with its $1.6 billion market cap. This is good. I don't particularly care for Solana that much, but it's good to see other partners coming on board to try to help the ecosystem. Pump.fun set a single-day revenue record of $15.5 million on January 24th, driven by Vinecoin's launch, reaching $4 billion in a 2-week trading platform. So lots of action happening. Some of it I don't really, some of it I believe is indicative of the environment or maybe climate within crypto, but it's not really directly related to a lot of the things that we're in. But it's just good. It's good. I read this every day. Every time he posts it, I read it because it's just really good to get an overview. All right, let's go ahead and look at some charts. This idea of sitting like this, I got myself a little bench, like an elevator, it just elevates me so that sitting on my knees here, I'm about this far off the ground instead of a typical chair. But I am finding it's tight. It is, it's a big stretch. It's a stretch along the quads and along the front of the feet. And so I'm finding it a little uncomfortable. All right. CFDs on silver. I am going to go ahead and shift into a Lotus, I think, for the time being. Come back into that one because it does feel good. Does feel good. Oh yeah, this is nice. All right, CFDs on silver. Ooh, this is nice. It feels like I've got good posture looking. This is good. All right, CFDs on silver. We have lots of whiplash in silver. We've been seeing this up and down and up and down and up and down motion here for quite a few days. With gold, similarly, not similarly, gold has been climbing. And over the last little while, a little bit of a pullback, but still keeping formation, forming higher highs, higher lows. So the this bar here, though, is starting to push down. So as we can see right here, this price here is now lower than the previous low, but it's not confirmed yet. We still need to see how this particular candle ends. If we go to the daily chart, yeah, we can see there's no sign of this stopping yet. I mean, it could very well stop at any time, but there's no sign of it right now. Dow Jones Industrial Index, a little bit of a pullback today as the markets opened up, but it's coming back. Oh no, look at that. That pullback, that happened during the night. Yep, that happened, well, even in the afternoon into the night, and then has been rallying back since. Global 30 on the cryptos. Here's where we have that evidence of the backlash. Or the whiplash. I'm gonna go ahead to the daily chart just so we can see it in that context. So we've been ranging a lot. We haven't even reached the all-time high, even after the election and everything that positive that happened during December. That's still, or November rather. December 6th peaked out. We still haven't reached that all-time high. So the consolidation that we've been seeing since then is indicative of a lot of volume being traded. And so here, today's price action we've seen here in the last, this started at 1 p.m. yesterday. Big drop. This here has found support back again at some previous support. And if we take a look at what happened with Bitcoin, we'll see exactly where that is inside our little box, almost to the halfway point within this consolidation zone, very long-term consolidation zone. Basically since the first run after the election. So this area here is likely to see some pressure this week. That's my thinking anyway. As we can see, it had some pressure already and has already started to bounce back up again. But today, I would expect this to kind of bounce around. And then during the week, we'll probably see it start to climb back up again, pushing towards this all-time high. Ethereum, also nice little drop. Isn't it interesting that I was talking about selling some Ethereum on my Shake Pay on the weekend? That's exactly what I did. And so if I were to come back in now, I would actually be getting 6% more Ethereum if I were to buy now. I might just do that. I do that. I just trade, $100, $200 here or there, just back and forth within my Shake Pay app, just because it's nice and easy. Super quick. I just realized that I can be moved over a little bit. There we go. All right. Next, Cardano. Yeah, I talked about this on the weekend, didn't I? I said, you know what? We're here hanging out at the bottom of this wedge, but we very well may see another test pushing towards this consolidation zone. And sure enough, we definitely broke out of that pennant. And we were testing this lower price point right here. That's a good sign from a perspective of a bull run, because whenever there's a bull run, institutions want better prices. And so whenever we see this kind of thing happen, we know that more institutions are buying, which in the long term will bring the price back up. And when we have a pattern like this pennant pattern, it indicates, oh yeah, of course I'm not big enough. My camera on the screen is not big enough for me to reach all the way over to that price action. So I'm going to bring it over here. So this wedge pattern where we have the highs and the lows getting closer and closer together, this is a buildup of energy, and eventually it runs out of runway and it has to break out. Well, when it breaks out, it is very common for it to do a fake out, which just means it breaks out, but it's a fake. This isn't us dropping the price and going down to, back to 38 cents or anything like that. This is simply the price breaking out very quickly and faking people out. Some people already are starting to sell, but who are they selling to? People like me. So then those positions do get bought up, and that's what sets the price in motion. So we're seeing it occur basically in real time here by checking it every day. And sure enough, from yesterday afternoon to today, we've already seen that bounce down, and it's already been coming back up again. It bounced down 14%. but it's already up 7. So that is a good sign. I like it. Solana also dipping down, forming a new low here. Again, though, it was also in a pattern, a very much a wedge pattern like we saw with Cardano. And it broke out. But again, we might see, yeah, there's our basic line. There was this stretch that came up here, but it's sometimes difficult to count these simply because of how much momentum they have when they create those new highs. And so what we do is that we find those like a pattern of highs that are in a line, and that's how we form these wedges. So this wedge here came down to a certain point, and it could have kept on going, but it decided to break out going down. And again, as this price goes down, it gets eaten up by people who are excited at the prospect. Maybe they were waiting. They were waiting to see what was going to happen. Well, now they can make 12% more. Their waiting paid off. Injective token. Also forming another low. Testing, very, very hard test on this level here. But a beautiful test all the same. Fetch. Also testing this low. Very much. Oh my goodness. Folks, it's at $1.10. This is Fetch. $1.10. Come back to this last high here. This isn't even the all-time high. This is just what was in December. You'll double your money just in injective token. Or no, this is Fetch. Amazing. There are a lot of brokers are listing Fetch now as well. So if you're looking to get into Fetch, you probably have an easy bridge there. Polygon also finding itself a low. It's good. I bought Polygon when it was like down here in the 30 cent range. So I'm still doing really good. I should have sold when it was up here though, because I could have bought way more again. But at the same time, we're here for the long game, not necessarily the short one. Destra, it dropped as well, but it didn't form a new low. Destra is the best performing AI coin I can see right now. This is just great. I've talked about this before, right? The Fibonacci tool. See, we have this major impulse all the way from here. This is right after the election, going all the way to the top. I don't want to go that way. Let's go this way, from the bottom to the top. So we can see that, yeah, we've basically done this. That this pulse here has come down to rest at this, just below the 38% level. Went back up to that 100% and is bouncing back off of it again. When this takes off, my first target where I think we're going to see resistance is going to be around 79 to 80 cents. So Destra, when you're ready, we're going to really appreciate that 2.5x out of the gate. Whenever you're ready. Oh, and Destra no longer charges fees on their purchases anymore. They used to charge a 5% surplus just so that they could invest in their business and make sure that they were bringing forward a spectacular product. But now Destra doesn't charge that 5% fee on purchases and sales of their coins. So that's a savings right now. Big time savings. 0 by 0 also finding itself some new support. Nice and low. Oh yeah. If you were thinking about getting some 0 by 0, it's on sale. It dropped from the price it was last week. It's dropped 30%. And that may be indicative. Let's go see what the coin market cap says on 0 by 0. 0 by 0. There we go. Market cap. Yeah. So, well, no, you know what? This is actually fairly diluted. So we don't have to worry too much about that. I was thinking the price might have dropped a little bit further than some of the other coins because of how unsaturated the market is. But it's actually doing quite well, sitting at 90% saturation. So yeah, it's just some price action going on with zero by zero. It does have a smaller market cap, 180 million. So that could also contribute to the volatility. PAL, oh look at that, PAL coming back. To remember when we had that big dump on PAL there back in right after election. There was the election, and then the price just dumped. While I managed to get some around 12, 13 cents and ride up since that time. And today it actually dropped. It dropped as low as 21 cents. So I'm still in profit, still doing well. But it's good to see. Good to see how much more of that retracement has come down to allow some more people to get it at good prices. 22 cents right now, 25 cents right now. And folks, anything under $1 on this is on sale. So from here to $1, that's a 4x return. WorldCoin. While this dip today hasn't formed a new low, although there is a low, it's not a lower low. And so this is actually kind of an expanding wedge, technically. If we take a look at this, there's the line showing an expanding wedge on the top. And then it's actually an expanding wedge on the bottom here as well. You can see, relatively speaking, how those lows lined up all the way from back here. So this expansion here is not being tested. So that tells us that we've reached a support level. Now it may still continue going down. Who knows? The market is always right. But in technical analysis, this is a great position to buy because it didn't continue to expand. This low did not go lower than the previous low and continue that pattern of a lowering low. So again, is that sign that we're heading up? Technical analysis says yes. Another, oh, look at that. Before it dipped, it actually went up quite a bit, didn't it? This is neural AI going up 33% yesterday, only to have it come back down again today, 25%. So a little bit of a this is indicative of some testing going on. So somebody out there was just like, I'm gonna buy a whole bunch, and so that drove the price up. And then that someone probably just went ahead and sold it after making this 30%, brought it back down to the levels that it would have been following. It probably would have got to here in that same period of time, except for that little banker's candle that occurs there. Beam dipping down, but already back up again. Dipped down as low as 14 cents, already back up to 16. And we can see that has been major support in the past. So we're testing these things. The all-time high is actually quite a ways up there. It's already at 4.1 cent. Yeah. So going back to that all-time high is 175% return. It's very attractive. FAR, this one's a long-term hold, folks. Don't expect much from this. In fact, I think it's just continuing to drop lower and lower all the time. Yeah, I'm going to go to the daily chart here so we can see, larger perspective. Yeah, see, look at that. We are literally just below the lowest of the low. Ooh, makes me want to buy some more, but I'll wait. I do expect this week we're going to see us come out of this kind of this dry spell, this whiplashy area. We're going to see some major price increases going into next week and next week. Things like FAR, they're going to be a little bit more delayed because they're into gaming. It's going to be the AI coins and the meme coins that really take the lead here. And my intention is to get some gains from these assets and then dump them into gaming so that I can appreciate those same gains again. Folks, think about it for a second. In crypto, we talk about how high things can go, how much things can expand in this. If you just get a 5x on this first run where we go in through AI, if you get yourself some good wide range of altcoins, and over the next 2-3 months you profit 5x on those, that's going to bring you to the end of quarter one. Into quarter two and quarter three, we're going to see the same type of growth occur again. It's going to happen in 2 waves. And that second growth again, if you do another 5x, now you've 25x'd your money. It doesn't take much, especially when you can catch these trends at the right time. And that's why we've got these market analyses every morning. So if you would like to join, I really encourage you. It's great. Glad you came and joined us on YouTube or on X to watch the live stream. But if you'd like to join us in studio and have a conversation, and then when we're done the live stream, we usually continue to talk for a little while longer, going over some of the assets of our members. You're welcome to tune in, but you have to tune in at this link here. There's a link to join our online class here. And that's where, look at that, this is really not aligned up very well. That there is where you can start your journey. Now, if you want to meet with me as well, also, you can use that link, and you can also connect with us on Telegram over on that link. So last bit here, we've got a couple more things to cover. Superverse, another gaming coin that is, beautifully dropping down so that I can get some more at a cheaper price. Clearpool, real world assets, actually holding its formation. It didn't dip down very much, did it? And that's because there isn't a lot of people that are in Clearpool. Clearpool is definitely a smaller market cap. No, it's actually not bad. It's 317 million. But you know what? There's not a lot of in and out going in, not a lot of liquidity going in and out of real world assets, because I believe this is going to be a longer play that a lot of people recognize. And so right now, real world assets, that's going to be your that's part of that second wave that I'm talking about. And projects like Clearpool are awesome, because what you see when you open up the price action for the whole time, for the entire lifetime of the project, and we see this massive growth and then a drop down. Well, they didn't close. They didn't finish. They kept on building, even through the dark night of the soul that all of crypto was experiencing. When everybody was depressed, they didn't stop. They kept on working. And sure enough, they've come to life again here over the last couple of months. Clearpool is a great opportunity, just by virtue of knowing what it's capable of doing. A $3 launch. They had a $3 launch, and they dropped down to almost 3 cents in some cases. Yes, 3.8 cents, 3.7 cents. That's wild. What does it say the all-time low is? All-time low is what? Oh, that's in the last 4. Yeah, that's in the last 52 weeks. Okay, so it's not going to give me the low price down here, but it looks to me like it's like 3.5 cents, 3.6. It looks like the lowest. Oh no, look at this, 2.5. Now up to 45 cents. That's already a 20x just since the dark night of the soul back in 2022, 2023. Well, when this takes off, coming back to 3, well, that's a 8x right there out of the gate. A 7x just coming back to the all-time high. So Clearpool is definitely going to be a good real-world asset, and it's maintaining its price structure very, very well. Non-playable coin didn't go down nearly as far as some of these other coins. I told you memes are going to be leading the way, like them or not. For me, I don't particularly like memes. I think that they're rather ridiculous, and frivolous. They're not really backed on. They're not backed by anything other than the belief in something, which really brings to a point that all of crypto is basically meme coins. I mean, Bitcoin, although there is proof of work that gives, gives us an idea of how much algorithmic power, computing power was required to find the Bitcoin. Congrats, but you're still only getting compensated because of the belief in what it can do for people. And so all of these, to me, are just meme coins, all of them, even Cardano. Just another meme coin, just another community of people coming together with a common goal and looking for people to work with. That's basically all these are. But the memes are just, it's hilarious to watch because they really have even less intrinsic value because there's nothing backing them. It's just the community. And for how much they are leading is indicative of the direction that we're seeing commerce go. You see, it's like journalism. I'll give you the example of journalism. And you might be like, journalism? How is this related? Well, hear me out. Wayne Peters with What's Up Canada is someone as a journalist that he's been doing his work since I think 2017 or 18. And before COVID, he even camped out at the War Memorial in Ottawa for weeks, reporting on what was going on in the corruption in Canada. Well, he was a journalist. Now, journalists are typically taught to go and find themselves a good publication, get on board, do good work, and you'll get paid by the publication for all the great stuff that you bring forward. That is the old model. The model of today is where, on the left side of my screen, like a movie poster. Oh yeah, that's my music app. Thanks for pointing that out. Close. There we go. And now I can. There we go. The scene switcher is a little confusing. What was I talking about? Shoot. Anybody remember what I was talking about? Oh, I felt like it was a good idea. Maybe it wasn't.
Wayne Peters.
Oh, yeah. And Wayne, instead of going and chasing down jobs like a regular journalist, all he did was consistently, over the last 4 years, consistently put out content that informed people. But he insisted on generating conversation in the chats of his live streams. He wasn't trying to land a big contract. He was just trying to gain some engagement, and he made it social. He made his shows social. And today, now when he goes live, again, he's no Alex Jones, but that's because he doesn't have a $300,000 monthly budget like Alex Jones. With his humble budget and against all of the censorship, when he goes live, he'll have 1,000 people, no problem. Now, that's not that many, right? I mean, in the scope of the internet, 1,000 is not that many. Oh, yeah? But he's getting 2,000 to 3,000 comments every single time. So the engagement is high. He doesn't need to have more people watching his stream. He has all that he needs within that community. And when people come on the show, when he has guests that come on the show, the community welcomes them and leave comments. And then Wayne brings those comments up on the screen. It's amazing what he's done. The same thing is occurring in business all around the world. And meme coins are kind of the microcosm of this occurring. It's a small way that we're noticing the effects of how communities are built. Here's SPX 6900. Been around for a while. In fact, I'm going to go ahead. The data that I have there. The data that I have there is not complete. And so I'm going to go ahead to this one. So again, from August 2023, coming into this year, especially in September, it took off like crazy, took off. And now already has peaked up above $2 per coin. Now sitting at $1.60, this community is just getting started. Their belief and their vision to replace the stock market using an index of the top the top industry leaders within crypto, it's crazy. They don't have any legislation. They don't have any bills on the table. They don't have any kind of official capacity in which they're running. They're literally just a community talking about how exciting it is that they can take over the stock market, that they have the purchasing power to take over the stock market. Now, they don't right now. The market cap is only $1.5 billion. We need a large amount, like more than what Bitcoin has, which is over $1 trillion, in order for the SPX 6900 to make a mark in that respect. But there is $1.5 billion worth of interest right now. And that's going up very fast. Because if we take a look at the market cap here that happened before, at the beginning of September, it was only $10 million. $10 million. It's gone up 100x in market cap. That says a lot about the power of building community. So, speaking of community, thank you to everybody for joining us today. We've got lots in store for this week. We've got a few great events that are coming up. Tomorrow night, for example, copywriting your name, having more control over your person within your citizenship, so that you don't get, what should we call it, Schwabified? We don't want you losing everything in the Great Reset. And so on Tuesday night, we're showing one avenue that some people find helps in making sure that they can secure their property. So that if you have any questions about that, or if you'd like to learn more, please go ahead to manknownaspol.com/connect. You can connect with us at Telegram. You can also book an appointment with me, ask all the questions you want. And of course, on there, you can also come and join our live streams that we host every morning and ask your questions there. So there you have it. That's a report for this week. Everybody have a good time, and we'll see you later.
Thank you.
You're most welcome.